Rachel and today I'm going to show you how to look good with minimal makeup, so let's get started. Ever since my previous video where I talked about how I wanted to go back to basics, really simple makeup, not too matte, not too heavy, not too glam, I actually haven't been wearing a whole lot of makeup in my day-to-day life. So I kind of wanted to share my go-to routine, how I feel comfortable and confident in my skin with barely anything on at all. There are a couple of makeup bits, but first off we need to start with skincare, which is the most important part, and that brings me to today's sponsor. Thank you Sand and Sky for sponsoring this video. I'm so excited because this range in particular has been highly anticipated. It is the Tasmanian Spring Water range. Deeply hydrating but also very lightweight, perfect for Sydney weather at the moment. It's got 2 types of hyaluronic acid, so it penetrates nice and deep into the skin to give you moisture throughout the day, and it also gives you a nice protective barrier on your skin. So let's start with the serum. I'd say my skin is a little on the dry side, so this isn't just rinsed, nothing on it, bare face. So it's a little tight, a little dull, fairly healthy, but definitely could do with some intense hydration. So this is Sand and Sky's Tasmanian Spring Water Splash Serum. So as I said, this has 2 types of hyaluronic acid, and it also has bifidobacter. I love fermented ingredients in my skincare routine. It's really good for strengthening the skin, protecting the skin as well. It feels super lightweight while also very hydrating. As you can see, it just sinks into the skin really quickly. Already starting to give me a nice glow. I'm gonna go ahead and lock that in right away with the Tasmanian Spring Water Hydration Boost Cream. I don't know if you can see this on camera, but I love the gel-like texture. It's really lightweight. I don't like very heavy creams, especially in the summertime during the daytime. I prefer to do that at night and also in my winter routine. So this is really good for deep hydration, but also a nice light finish and great for under makeup. Feels so nice and cool on the skin. It's also got red algae in it, which means it's going to create kind of like a second skin on your skin and really protect your skin's barrier. Stop any moisture loss through the day. Dewy, glowy, juicy, plump skin, and it's locked in the moisture from the previous serum as well. So I definitely like to use the 2 products together for the ultimate hydration. I mean, look how bright and glowing my skin is now. No more dullness at all. So I use these 2 products every single day, both in the morning and in the evening at the moment. It's great for summertime because it feels nice and light. So if you are looking for something that's super hydrating but nice and lightweight, and if you have sensitive skin as well like I do, I highly recommend these products. So let that sink in for a couple minutes, and now it's time for the very important step of sunscreen. This is Violette's Lean Mean Mineral Mattifying Sunscreen. I love this sunscreen for on top of this hydrating skincare because it is also nice and lightweight. It's not oily at all, which is great for summertime, and it gives you just a tiny bit of a mattifying finish. You don't lose your glow at all, but it really complements this particular routine I have going on. Brown girls, it looks a little scary, I know, but it actually shears out and becomes translucent. So I'm going 1 layer first. And then, yes, another layer, because I care about my skin. So as you can see, it melted into the skin and still has that nice dewy glow from the skincare underneath. So even though it says mattifying, it's not like ultra matte. Gotta do my neck as well. If you thought I was done prepping the skin, I am not, my friends. Because we're not using any foundation today, you want to make sure everything is nice and perfected in your base. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a blurring primer. This one's by Marc Jacobs. I love opening brand new bottles of things. So this is an undercover blurring coconut face primer. You guys have seen me use this a couple of times before, but essentially I'm only going to do it in my T-zone because I like keeping that glow in the face. T-zone nice and blurred. So now I'm going to go in with some blush. This is the Mecca Cosmetica Weekend Skin. It's like a cheek and highlight duo. I'm just going to use the cheek blush side. I like cream blushes, especially if I'm not going to use foundation, because I find it just works the best over bare skincare. Sometimes creams can go a little bit patchy, as you know, on top of foundations and that kind of thing, but on top of just your skincare, beautiful. So I'm using a brush. This is a Real Techniques buffing brush, just to stipple it over the top, and I'm going right on top of the cheekbones with most of the product. And I'm taking a dot to the nose bridge for a nice sun-kissed look. And then when there's barely anything on the brush, I'm going to go all the way up under the eye here, over any darkness. As you can see, I have a little bit of darkness under the eyes, but I don't like concealing my dark circles lately because I think it looks really pretty and just natural and fresh. So instead, I like to use the blush just to soften the look of them. If you can see there, so that is the dark circle without any blush, and this is it with blush. It just gently softens the look of them. Such a nice youthful flush. Now I'm going to lock everything in with just the tiniest bit of powder. This is a L'Oreal Mercier translucent powder in the shade Honey. So it does have a slight tint to it. It's going to give you just a little bit of color, but mostly just help to lock everything in place. So I literally just like ran it in the lid and just picked up the tiniest bit just to lock in that beautiful base. I'm also just concentrating it in the center of the face where I need it, and kind of letting the rest of the skin still shine through. If you prefer a matte face, definitely powder the whole thing, but I love this really dewy, juicy look. So I'm gonna do eyebrows. Because my brows are already laminated, I don't need to do a whole lot to them. If you missed my brow lamination video, it is my last video. I did them at home. Yeah, I don't really need to do too much. I just like to brush them into place. And for the most natural brow look, I like to use the Urban Decay brow blade, but just the felt pen side, and create just a couple hairs here. Then back in with my spoolie and just softening up those lines. I've also gone back to my little OG technique of going over all my little beauty spots and sunspots and freckles with a brow pencil. This one is Precisely My Brow. Then I'm going to curl my lashes with my Kevyn Aucoin eyelash curler, give myself a nice bright awake look. Instantly nice and perky and bright and awake, and you can obviously put some mascara on, but I kind of always liked how my lashes look without any mascara. So I'm going to finish with a lip gloss now. This is Too Faced Lip Injection Extreme in the shade Strawberry Kiss, my favorite one. Alright guys, that is it. That is how I look good with minimal makeup. I hope you picked up a couple of tips and tricks on how to confidently rock your beautiful skin, enhance that glow, and make the most out of your natural features. Thank you once again to Sand and Sky for sponsoring this vid. And if you guys want to hang out every day, I post on Instagram every single day. And if not, I will see you in my next video. I love you all so much. Mwah.